In this video, we'll factor each expression and find the zeros of each equation. So इस एक्सप्रेशन को हम फैक्टर करेंगे और उनके रूट्स को फाइंड आउट करेंगे. सो n स्क्वायर प्लस 7n माइनस 30 इक्वल्स टू 0. सो फर्स्ट वी विल फैक्टर. सो फैक्टर करने के लिए ये n स्क्वायर इज 1n स्क्वायर. सो वी कैन पुट टू ब्रैकेट. n square means n times n is n square. Now we'll see multiples of 30. What is 30? So 30 के multiples देखेंगे, like 3 times 10 is 30. We want negative 30, so one of the signs should be negative. So negative 3 times 10 is negative 30. But if you add, you should get positive 7. So if add negative 3 plus 10, so we get positive 7. So this multiples are satisfying both the middle term and the last term. So इनके factors होंगे negative 3 and 10. So minus 3 एक bracket में जाएगा और plus 10 another bracket equals to 0. Now find the roots. Roots are x-intercepts. They are same. So x-intercept means we have to write each factor equals to 0. Each factor को हम 0 के बराबर लिखेंगे. So n minus 3 equals to 0. So to solve n, so n equals negative 3 will go on the other side, become positive 3. So n equals 3. Similarly, other factor is n plus 10 equals to 0. So n equals positive 10 will become negative 10 on the other side. So negative 10. So they are the two roots. N equals 3 and n equals negative 10. So the roots are x, this is the x value, yes. So negative 3 and 0. So what are the roots? The roots are 3 and 0. And another root is negative 10 and 0. So this is the x value, this is the y value. This is x value, this is y value. Here also x value and y value. So there are the roots. If you draw the parabola, so it will be, draw here, or you can draw anywhere here. So the roots are 3 and 0. So 1, 2, 3 and 0 here. And the other root is negative 10, 0. So negative 10 will be here and 0. And this is positive, so maybe the parabola will open upside like this. Clear? But you don't have to sketch. It's not asked here. We have to factor. For your understanding, I am showing this diagram. So roots means you have to find n equals 3 and n equals 10. And you know the y value is 0. On the x-axis, always the y value is 0. Okay, next question we will do. M square plus 8m plus 15 equals to 0. So m square is 1m square. Then you can put two brackets. M square means m times m is m square. You have to see multiples of 15. 15 के multiples देखेंगे, उन्हें add करने पर 8 होना चाहिए. So like 3 times 5 is 15. अगर हम 3 and 5 को add करते हैं तो होता है 8. So we are getting the middle term and multiply करेंगे तो 15 last term आ रहा. So they are the two factors. So m plus 3 and m minus 5 equals to 0. So each factor now we write equals to 0. So m plus 3 equals to 0. So m equals negative 3. Positive 3 will go other side, become negative 3. Another 0 is m minus 5 equals to 0. So m equals negative 5 will go other side and become positive 5. So the roots are negative 3, 0 and 5, 0. Okay, next question. I will write this question. We will do here in the next one. 4n square minus 1. When we have square and minus, think of the formula, difference of square formula. So a square minus b square equals a plus b, a minus b. So a square minus b square equals a minus b and a plus b. So this is called difference of square formula. So this we can apply here. So first we have to write both as squares. So 4 square root of 4 is 2. N square is n. The 2n square we can write. और इसको 1 square को 1 square लिख सकते हैं. So ये bracket think like A and this bracket is B. So factors are A plus B and A minus B. So A means 2n plus 1 factor and 2n minus 1 another factor equals to 0. Now we have to solve for n. Each factor we write equals to 0. So 2n plus 1 equals to 0. So 2n equals positive 1 will go other side becomes negative 1. So divide by 2, divide by 2. So n equals negative half. And same way, the other side, 2n minus 1. So 2n minus 1 equals to 0. 2n equals negative 1 will become now positive 1. So divide by 2, divide by 2. So n equals plus half. And what are the roots? The roots are negative half and 0. X value is negative half, y value is 0. Same way here, x value is positive half and y value is 0. So they are the two roots of this function or this expression. Similarly here, 9n square minus 6n plus 1. So here coefficient is 9. If it is 1, we can put 2 bracket. 2 bracket लिख सकते हैं अगर यहाँ 1 हो तो. लेकिन यहाँ पे 9 है, so हम 9 को 1 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. तो 9 times 1 होगा 9. Now उसके multiples हम देखेंगे. By adding, you should get negative 6. If you add this, you should become negative 6. So, 3 times 3 is 9. We want negative, 3 times 3 is 9, positive 9, yeah. And if we add 3 plus 3 is, we want negative 6. So, both the sign we write negative. So, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9, okay. And then negative 3 plus negative 3 is negative 6. So it is satisfying both. So we write by grouping, we can factor them. So first term we write as it is, so 9n square. And middle term we split into negative 3 and negative 3. Minus 3n plus 1. So last term as it is we write, first term as it is we write. Middle term को हम दो में divide करेंगे, negative 3 and negative 3. Check and see, if you add them, you should get negative 6. Okay, now we have 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in दोनों factor terms में हम what is common we'll find out. 9n square minus 3n. So we can divide both by 3n and also common. So 3n take out common. So we get 3n minus 1. Here nothing common, so we write minus 1. Then we get 3n. Positive and minus become minus 1. So now we have one common factor, that is 3n minus 1, and the other factor will be 3n minus 1 equals to 0. Now we write each factor equals to 0. So both factors are same here. So we can write 3n minus 1 equals to 0. So 3n equals negative 1 become positive 1. So divide by 3, divide by 3. So n equals 1/3. And the root will be 1/3 and 0. Okay, we'll go to next question now. 2y square plus 9y plus 4. So we have to here, first step for factoring is, we see anything common, we don't have anything common. Then here coefficient we have 2. We multiply 2 to 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. And we have to see multiples of 8. By adding, you should get 9. So 8 times 1 is 8. And 8 plus 1 is 9. So this is working. So we write 2y square as it is. And 9y we split into 8 plus 1. So we can write 8y plus y plus 4 equals to 0. Now we have 4 terms. We take out common in the first 2 terms. So 2 and 8, we can divide by 2. There is y square, there is y, so y also common. So now what you get? 2, 2 cancels, 1 y cancels, so 1 y remains. Plus 2y, 2 goes 4 times, 2 4s 8. And y cancel, so just y plus 4. So plus, nothing common here, so we write 1. So we get y plus 4 equals to 0. Now we have one common factor, y plus 4. And other factor will be what we have outside the bracket, 2y plus 1 equals to 0. Now each factor we solve for y. So y plus 4 equals to 0. So y equals negative 4. And here 2y plus 1 equals to 0. So 2y equals positive 1 will become negative 1. So divide by 2, divide by 2. So y equals minus half. So what are the roots? The roots are negative 4, 0 and negative half 0. The next question, y square minus y minus 6. So here coefficient is 1, so straight away we can put 2 brackets. So multiples of 6 by adding, you should get negative 1. So 3 times 2 is 6. We want negative 6, so the number should be negative 3 and 2. Check again and see. If you multiply, you get negative 6. If you add them, negative 3 plus 2, we get negative 1. Here is negative 1. Okay. So the factors are y and y, negative 3 and 2 equals to 0. Now each factor we write equals to 0. So y plus 3 equals to 0. Y equals positive 3 becomes negative. Second is y plus 2 equals to 0. Y equals positive 2 will become now negative 2. So what are the roots? The roots are x negative 3 0 and x negative 2 and 0. Okay, we'll go to next question. One more we'll do. 16x square minus 25. Whenever we have square, you can use difference of square formula, a square minus b square. So first we arrange as squares. So for 16, we can write 4 square and x square x square. Check and see, it should come to this. So 4 square is 16, x times x square. So we have the same thing here in exponent form. Minus for 25, we can write 5 square. A square minus b square. Factors are a plus b, a minus b. So a plus b will be 4x plus 5. And other factor will be 4x minus 5. Now if each factor we write equals to 0 and solve for x. So 4x plus 5 equals to 0. So 4x equals 0 minus 5. Now divide by 4. So x equals negative 5 upon 4. And one more question we'll do here. 4x square minus 14x minus 8. So first is see the numbers are in even numbers, so we can divide both by all the three terms by 2. So take out 2 common. We get 2x square minus 7x minus 4. We keep these two as it is and we put 2 bracket. So 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. The multiples of negative 8 by adding you should get negative 7. So negative negative 3 times 1 is negative 8. If you add them, negative 1, negative 8 plus 1 is negative 7. So now we can factor as grouping. We put two brackets. One bracket we write x and x. So plus 7 minus 7 plus 1 equals to 0. So x minus 7 equals to 0. X equals 7 negative 7 become positive 7 on other side. And x plus 1 equals to 0. And x equals negative 1 becomes positive 1. Now the roots are negative 7, 0. And other factor will be x plus 1 equals to 0. X equals write properly x plus 1 equals to 0 and solve for x. Yeah, we got here x plus 1 equals to 0, x equals positive 1. So what are the roots? Negative 7, 0 and 1 and positive 1 and 0. They are the two roots. One more question we'll do here. 5x squared plus 25x plus 30. So 5, 25, 30 all are divisible by 5. So we take out 5 common. It means common means we are dividing by 5, dividing by 5 and dividing by 5. The 5 cancels x squared plus 25 divided by 5 is 5x plus 30 divided by 5 is 6 equals to 0. So this is simple coefficient. One coefficient 1 is there, so we can put two brackets and x square. Multiples of 6 by adding you should get 5. So 3 times 2 is 6. If we add 3 plus 2 is 5. So the factors are plus 3 and plus 2. Now to solve this, each factor we write equals to 0. So x plus 3 equals to 0. So x equals negative 3. Same with the other factor is x plus 2 equals to 0. X equals negative 2. So what are the roots are? Negative 3, 0 and negative 2, 0. And one more last question. 3x squared plus 9x minus 30. So all are divisible by 3. We can divide by 3. So 3 got 3 common. So we get x squared plus 3x minus 10 equals to 0. Here the coefficient is 1 now. So we can put two bracket. X square means x times x square. Multiples of 10 by adding, you should get 3. So what is 10? 5 times 2 is 10. But we want negative 10. So negative 10 means it should be like this. If you multiply, we get negative 10. If you add them, we get positive 3. So plus 5 and minus 2 equals to 0. So x plus 5 equals to 0. X equals, take positive 5 other side, become negative 5. Similarly, x minus 2 equals to 0. X equals negative 2 become positive 2. I hope now you understand how to factor this expression. So now there are 4 questions to practice them. And if you have any question, you can write in the comment. Please like and share to our channel for more video like this. Thank you.